So I'm in northern Michigan right now.
Oh, yeah.
So these are rose hips. I don't know why I'm trying to hold it like I'm a freaking news anchor. Look at the freaking hips on that baby. These things stick on the trees pretty much all winter. And they're completely edible. You can actually make a lot of different stuff out of them. Fruit leather, jellies, or just plain eat them as is. They have a lot of vitamin C. And you can see here, there's a lot of seeds in that. The seeds have little microscopic hairs on them, but the hairs cause a strange reaction. I'll save that for another video, but you want to try to get the seeds out of them so you just have the outer husk. There's a lot of good stuff in these rose hips. I don't care where you're at, chances are there's rose hips. The trees freaking hang on to them, and they're really good. There's a lot of nutrients in those. Rose hips. Awesome. So what else do we have? There's actually an amazing amount of food out in the winter available for you. I mean, I almost brought my bow. Obviously, I could easily walk around and hunt squirrels and rabbits because there's a lot of them around here. So here's some more stuff we could eat. This is pretty obvious, but in case you don't know, a lot of conifers you can make tea out of the needles. And they smell good. This is a fir, pretty big, beautiful fir tree. Fir tree have very sweet tasting tea you can make. But there's vitamin C in that. It's good for you. It's something. I'm just looking around to try to identify more things because your mind would be blown to know just how many things we can eat out here. Here's some. So these are called catkins on these alder trees. That's like the male part, and the female part are these cones right here. And they're both edible. You can grind them up into things. I wouldn't recommend eating a lot of them, but I mean, you can see here that's still green on the inside, and this is February, so that's edible. You can grind them into flour, put them in soups and stews, things like that. More rose hips down there. And then of course you can eat the inner part of the bark of a lot of trees. That's edible. I generally don't do that, but you can. And then here's something. Birch. We could tap this birch tree. It's a little cold. I don't know how it would flow. We could tap that birch tree, get the sap out of that, and boil that down, and it's actually pretty nutritious and delicious. And birch, there's a lot of reasons why birch trees are awesome. I feel like I'm gonna walk in here, immediately kick up a snowshoe hare, and probably be very upset that I don't have my bow on me. There's beech. One lonesome beech tree. Beech leaves in the spring are really freaking good to eat. And they're edible year round, but there's not a lot in that right now. But you could boil it up and make it edible. You're not going to get a lot of nutrition out of it. It would fill your stomach. I wouldn't just sit around and eat a ton of that though, this time of year. But you can make really good salads in the spring. They're fantastic, man. The bright green, sort of new leaves, amazing. Grind that up, put it in soup for a little bit of flavor. That's some wintertime food, baby. Reindeer moss is awesome. Now it's the kind of thing that it's got high acid in it. So in order to eat that and have it be something that you can safely digest, you need to boil it multiple times, like 3-4 times. And you just boil it, you drain all the water out, you boil it again and again and again. And you keep doing that. And you can add that to, if you got fish or whatever, just to thicken up a stew. You can grind it into like a flour. It's an amazing resource. Reindeer moss is all over in boreal forests, even here in northern Michigan. Look at this beautiful forest, man. So nice in here. And we're heading out into a sort of a red pine plantation. Look at this. Talk about a freaking perfect fire starting situation. That is freaking beautiful. That's one flick of a fire steel and you got a flame right there, baby. There's a lot of places that get disturbed by clear cutting, roads, things like that. Different plants grow there. Like, that's the kind of place you're gonna find mullen, goldenrod, anything like that. And here is some mullen. Mullen is awesome. Mullen's actually proven to, like if you have a dry cough where you just can't get the mucus to come out of your lungs and you've had a cold or COVID or whatever, you smoke this and it will clear your lungs out like 100 times better than Mucinex. This is freaking amazing stuff. And you can make tea out of it. It also helps in that way. Obviously it's dried and dead. This is a 2-year mullen. And they get, the first year they just stay flat on the ground. And the second year mullen is when they start to grow vertical like this and make these flowering seed pods. And these actually have been traditionally used to make like torches. So you can take this right here, add beeswax onto it, and it burns at about a rate of 15 minutes per inch. And they're really bright torches. I'll make one and I will add it into this video right here. Mullen torch, baby. So let's go try this thing out. It's a Bushcraft candle. There's no external lighting. All that light's coming from that torch. That's bad to the bone. Mullen is awesome though. It is something that can be smoked casually, recreationally, and there's health benefits to it. And here's some more. So this is goldenrod, old dried up goldenrod. I've made tea a lot of times out of the flowers of this, the leaves, in the spring, summer, fall. But there is nutritional benefits in this, even in the state that it's in right here. And goldenrod is very awesome. There's some damn snowmobilers. The goldenrod's really good if you have like a urinary tract infection, bladder infection, things like that. There's a lot of amazing benefits to goldenrod. So that is a little trickier to identify in the winter like this, but you can, obviously you can do it. A lot more chicory, and a lot more loud snowmobilers coming. But for fat, you're gonna have to resort to wild game. But you can make it. You can make it through the winter foraging if you're on top of it and you're really playing some hardball. Beaver's got this dammed up. So there's a few different plants that you're going to find in an area like this, the edge of a wetland. There's like nutgrass, which is edible. Pretty darn good. Whoa. This spot has me a little frightened that I might fall through. I'll go for it. Nutgrass, bulrush. Bulrush is another one. You can actually take the seeds off bulrush, pound them into flour, and they make really good flour. And of course there's this, which are cattails. And in the spring, you can eat a lot of the stalk part of it. But in the wintertime, 365 days a year, you can dig down to the base of that. There's a big tuber on there. And most of you probably know this already, but cattails have a big tuber that's full of starch. You can eat it like a potato, or you can soak it, get the starch out of it, and use that, or dry it out, pound the hell out of it into flour. There's so many different things you can do with cattail. It's a really good plant, super easy to identify. I'm just out in front of my house. This is called Staghorn sumac. So you can make this into tea. Tastes like lemonade, like pink lemonade. Even right now, you can taste the sweet little zing to it. As I chew it, tastes like an Amazon box.
Get out.